Parsha. We know that Eliezer Eved Avram, the trustworthy servant of Avram Avinu, is going to find a wife, for Yitzchak Avinu. And Eliezer is given everything: kesef, vizav, money, gold, animals. He's coming along with all the things he needs. Furthermore, Avram Avinu himself gave him a bracha that it should be successful. So one would think, when embarking on this journey, Eliezer should be confident beyond. He should know, number one, the Gadol Adar gave me a bracha. Number two, I have all the money. I have everything there. And he should go with confidence, realizing that everything's going to be great. And yet what happens? We know that comes Eliezer. Eliezer goes, as he stops, he davens, and he says that everything is biyad Hashem, a beautiful tefillah. Rav Chatzkel Levenstein comes along and points out what is so obvious, yet what is so necessary for us to remind ourselves. He says that he had everything, and yet he needed to daven, because even when everything is so clear, I got it in the bag. It's obvious. I know how to do this. It's perfect. The setup is flawless. Everything is going to go without a hitch. Teaches Eliezer, no. Still, you need to daven. And the Medrash, when Eliezer is telling over his story, explains from the words of Rashi that why did Eliezer merit what he merited? Says the Medrash, Eliezer is telling over all the nisim, all the miracles, and that Rivka Imenu was muchan, was prepared with tefillah. Says the Medrash, of course, he did all the ishtadlus, and everything was perfectly organized. But at the end of the day, why did it work? Not because everything was organized, not because he had everything set up, not because he had the bracha of Avram Avinu. All of that is important. But at the end of the day, the success came from the tefillah. Such a basic and obvious idea, but yet something we have to remind ourselves. Because we daven when we think it's difficult. We daven when we're nervous. When we're not sure, all of a sudden we turn to Hashem, Hashem help us. When things seemingly are smooth, when things appear to be going in the right direction, how we have it all set up, we have a perfect plan, we did everything great, then do we really daven? Unfortunately, if we think about it on an honest level, that's a very great form of koichi v'aitzim yadi. That's a form of assuming that we run the world. And obviously, I know that none of us actually think that way. But we have to remind ourselves, and we have to hone in like Eliezer Eved Avram, that even when everything is perfect, still, you have to go and you have to daven. I'll end. Rav Arieli, my Rebbe, he gives shiur in Eretz Yisrael every single day to about 700 people in the room. It's the largest shiur daily. 700 people are sitting in the room. Few hundred more are probably listening live. There was a time it was broadcasted on the radio. The shiurim are recorded, and by the hundreds and thousands, definitely. And the shiur that he gives, it's a cycle. That's the way it goes in the yeshivas and the mir. Every 5 years is a new mesech, is the same mesechta. So he's been giving shiur for 30 plus years. So the shiur that he's given is, you would think at this point he has it in his brain. He knows exactly what to say. And yet, number one, before every single shiur, he sits down and he reviews literally word for word what he's going to say. Okay, but that's not the detail I want to hone in on. Every single day as he walks into shiur, as the 700 people stand up and part ways for him to walk through, he walks in, his head is down, he's holding his Gemara and he's mumbling something under his breath. He's confident. He knows exactly what he's saying. There's no reason to be concerned. And yet, he's sitting there saying a kapitel Tehillim, because you could have everything perfect, but without the tefillah, without the davening, it doesn't go. So let's learn the lesson from Eliezer. Of course, we daven when things are difficult, but maybe, just maybe, there's a deeper relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu when we could daven even when things seem not to be difficult. Things seem to be perfect. And such tefillos hopefully will build a very deep connection with Hashem, and obviously we'll be the ones to benefit from such an incredible relationship.